Hello everyone, my name is Vaishali Nagpure and our research paper title is Methodology for Characterizing Spectrum Data by Combining Quantitative and Qualitative Information. Udayan Das is second author and Professor Dr. Cynthia Hood is my advisor. So introduction. So basically multi-band spectrum measurements are spatiotemporal data sets that provide information about spectrum utilization in space, frequency and time. Each frequency band has its own unique time varying characteristics. Often bands are subdivided into channels and may have like common use or set of users. Spectrum occupancy basically measures the percentage of time that a given frequency band or channel is utilized over a given time in in location in each location. For example, TV bands includes relatively stable signals coming from transmitters, which are stationary and continuously transmitting, while bands that are allocated for Wi-Fi introduces mobility plus speciality. Spectrograms are usually used to visualize such type of data. Interpretation of spectrogram is very hard because it requires significant domain knowledge and is extremely time consuming. In order to effectively characterize true dynamics of spectrum measurements, it is necessary to explore the underlying structure of the data and automatically provide a descriptive depiction. The goal of characterization is to combine such type of information about like how the spectrum is allocated and how it is used in time and space. In this paper, we present a methodology for combining such quantitative and qualitative information to identify channels and changes in spectrum occupancy. We validate our results with knowledge graph. So here are our measurement systems. We have two systems, both uses energy detection sensing with different resolution bandwidths, resulting different sizes of data. One is very high resolution data with 8 bands, and another is 29 bands with 8001 frequencies sampled in each band. And you can see the size of the data is very low compared to high resolution data. This is per day data. So from spectrograms, how analysis is done. So it's very high level occupancy. It gives very high level of occupancy sense. So y-axis is time, x-axis is frequency, and right hand side power is shown through color. The spectral occupancy is estimated based on noise floor, which is a threshold to determine if the measured power exceeds the threshold, then it's a valid signal, otherwise it's a noise. So spectrogram allow for the visualization of channels, utilization and changes as can be seen. It can help like for different time scales identify daily, weekly, yearly patterns. So this spectrogram shows band 406 to 698 megahertz for the year 2017 from system 1, which is like 29 band system, 8001 resolution system. So from the spectrogram, the channels and a general sense of occupancy, we can see like whether the channel is occupied throughout the year or not. And this paper describes a methodology to automatically extract such type of information. So to interpret the visualization of the measurements, contextual information is needed. For example, when looking at the spectrogram, one may be interested to know what the channels are used for, right? Not only seeing channels, but whether it's used for. So to do this, one must find out how the frequency of interest have been allocated. Since the spectrum is a natural resource, each nation decides how the spectrum will be allocated and utilized there. So since this paper involves spectrum measurements collected in Chicago, we focus on the United States spectrum allocation. information. So these in USA, NTI manages the federal spectrum and FCC manages the non-federal spectrum. So the color gives the information, like if it's federal exclusive, it's red below, non-federal exclusive green, or federal non-federal share. If it's shared, then it's black. You can see 470 to 512 megahertz are reserved for non-federal use and are shared by three different radio sources. So these type of information are useful even from the like charts and table. You get the useful information about the allocation. Now, details of changes in the band plan. So this is one of the interesting dynamics you can see in the TV bands. So federal documents are a repository of spectrum information and invaluable in understanding spectrum usage. However, in some cases like this, shown in this slide, secondary sources can be useful. More useful sources that provides the spectrum information uh, about such type of changes. For example, spectrum in the 600 megahertz to 700 megahertz, which was previously used for broadcast TV, was made available for other applications. Following the incentive auction TV, channels in the 600 megahertz were moved down to lower frequencies to channels that were vacated by other applications. So other channels in the sub 600 megahertz also changed as part of the band plan changes. So this overall process was called digital TV repacking. And details of this may be found in other website, that is RabbitS, in semi-structured format. In FCC, you will find this information, but in fragmented format across multiple documents. So you need a structure to combine such type of informations, which gives now this is like very useful information because channels are changed, frequency like previous old channels and new channels were numbers were different, range is different. So this type of information is needed to have a context to our measurements. So our approach is to combine quantitative with qualitative in quantitative analysis with qualitative information. So in quantitative analysis, there are two steps: identify channels and then change detection. So for identifying channels, we have developed an algorithm which will group the frequencies, contiguous frequencies based on measure we are selected. So to start with, we are choosing a mean over a day for all frequencies to combine the frequencies in a group. So whole frequency range will be divided into buckets based on minimum and maximum value of the range. And then in each bucket, frequencies above that threshold will be grouped together, which are contiguous, which will naturally form a channel. And that table gives the snapshot of the results we have with our algorithm. So it gives the even estimated channel bandwidth based on, we calculated that bandwidth based on our resolution bandwidth. Next is change detection. So change detection is to detect the abrupt changes in the signal. So here the change detection, the signal may have either long term or short term dynamics. So short term dynamics can be if this, for example, TV stations that turn off periodically will give short term dynamics, but long term dynamics may be allocation changes, as can be seen in previous slide. It's like repacking. So here we are detecting long term dynamics because we are our data is mean over a whole day. So more like When we use daily mean energy as input, the minimum changes that can be detected are on daily basis. More precision can be attained by using finer grain means like hourly, or by using an online change detection algorithm. There are many possible reasons for changes in the measurements, including changes in the spectrum usage, as we discussed, like changes in allocation, or even problems with the measurement system. So here, the changes which can be detected with this data is long-term dynamics. Now, qualitative analysis. So, an architecture for unifying these different types of information is developed, which can be which can be reasoned over. So, this basically this architecture is based on knowledge graphs. So, we present a method for modeling this information in a as a knowledge graph. So, we have knowledge graphs for FCC license information, then secondary sources information. We implement this in graph model in Neo4j database platform. So FCC, we know FCC license view API provides access to data which contains licensing information, and which represent a majority of publicly available license information. So our knowledge graph makes the task of querying and visualizing information much easier than querying the database via APIs or web-based search tools. Now combining this information. So the measurements provide information about how the spectrum is actually being used. This information about how the measured frequencies are organized into channels, as well as characterization of the channel activity and dynamics. So, as seen from figure, observations include measurements along with its parameters like band plan, resolution, bandwidth. So when after the data is analyzed, that is channels are identified, the knowledge graph in the graph database is queried to validate the estimated channel which are identified. A similar process is used when the analysis of the center frequencies of the identified channels are used to detect changes. So the changes detected are then used to formulate queries to try to determine the cause of the changes detected. For example, we have shown you the repacking thing, right? So those are the cause of the changes. So given that our current knowledge graph is focused on licensing and allocation information, the only changes that can be validated or explained at this time are changes in licensing or allocation. Now results. We chose to start in this band because TV transmission is generally continuous, thus the channels can be easily detected. But even in this band, we found some challenges and interesting dynamics with the repacking and reallocation. Table shows the channels identified from 1 day of data from the years 2017 to 2019. From system 1, actual, as can be seen for 2017, actual channels are 25 but identified are 22, which is like right hand side upper table. Channels with very low signal strength are difficult to identify with our algorithm. Hence, there is actual channels are 25 but identified are 22. Note, so the rest two tables. So if you see, resolution bandwidth for system 2 is much smaller than the resolution bandwidth of system 1. So the sample frequencies are much closer, like for high resolution, that is 3 kilohertz. The actual TV channels are 6 megahertz. So these estimations, like what you can see from the table, are very close. In figure, you can observe variations in the channels across the frequencies uh, and at the boundaries. Like from the spectrograms, you can see like from previous figures, like spectrograms, you can see these variations. So um, so given these estimates, like these estimates are based on how the systems are configured to sample the frequencies. So we do not expect to get an exact value even in this best case actually. After identifying channels, as discussed earlier, we do the validation through knowledge graph. So you can see the Java code which shows the query for the channel, which is the center frequency, and it gives the like the highlighted line shows that the channel lower frequency and upper frequency of the channel are returned. Uh, and the results confirm that the 491.008 megahertz is part of 6 megahertz TV channel from 488 to 494 megahertz. So this algorithm was run on 53 months of data from 1st January 2017 to 31st May of 2021 to detect the changes. The spectrogram shows a comparison of 1 day of data from 2017 to 2019. That is left hand side spectrogram. The data from each day is stacked to visualize the changes. So when comparing the visualization from 2017, which is on the bottom, to the one from 2019 on the top, it is evident that there are several channels that are no longer active. But there is one channel, that is 524 to 530 megahertz, where there is new activity in 2019. This stacked visualization gives a general idea of what changed, but does not provide any information about when the changes occurred. The change detection algorithm shown below identifies the day when the change happened. Now right hand side. So the TV band repacking began in 2018 and concluded by July 2020. So figure in right hand side spectrogram shows these changes of due to repacking. The arrows are like shown the channels, previous channel number changed to new channel numbers. So we have seen the chart before. So it's depicted here through spectrogram. So this process was initiated to free up the 600 megahertz for the broadcast incentive auction. As a result of this repacking, 600 to 700 megahertz band was reallocated to cellular and public safety use. The changes can be seen from spectrogram shown on the uh, shown. The new and different activity in the 600 megahertz band is evident. So you can see like right hand side, rightmost chart shows the even cellular and cellular band, which is like having higher bandwidth than TV channels bandwidth. So our change detection algorithm will find out this details. So, what is the conclusion? So, this paper describes the methodology for combining quantitative and qualitative information. We have identified channels, and with change detection, we are able to find out the changes of the channels. Uh, so, we have implemented the knowledge graph in a Neo4j graph database, and the results are queried and validated with our infrastructure. So This methodology was tested on measurements data from 470 to 698 on 2 systems. So although this is like very straightforward case, we have faced challenges. There are challenges to automate all of these steps. So ongoing work will be to hit the more challenging cases with more complex types in natures. This includes expanding to consider more complex features and also different time scales. Because like spectrum behavior is challenging to interpret because it's driven by many factors like planned, unplanned events, weather, and human protocols. Thank you.